Aaron Broadstetter. Okay, everybody, my name's Alan Intern, and I'm here with TSN's Aaron Broadstetter. How's it going today, man?
I'm good, Alan. Hey, thank you for having me on.
That's good. I want to know, how did you break into the business?
Well, do you mean of just covering the UFC or the overall landscape of sports media?
Sports media in general, yeah. Basically.
All right. So I went to Brock University for communications. While I was there, I did as many things as I possibly could to get my experience in media. So I worked for the newspaper, worked for the radio station, was the music director there, hosted shows. I did play-by-play basketball for the local television affiliate that covered it, which was, I guess, Cogeco Cable at the time. And really just tried to get my feet wet in as many different areas of media as I could because I wanted to pursue it as a career. And I was kind of on the fence between going either the business route or the communications route. It was a business communications course. And then after I was done my program and I got an honors degree in business communications, I kind of hit that fork in the road where I was deciding if I wanted to go into business or go into media. And I just had way too much fun doing media. I loved it. And I just felt so comfortable doing it. And I decided to go that route. So I went to a postgraduate program in journalism in Humber College and earned a diploma there. But while I was there, again, I tried to get as much experience as possible. I would take on assignments. I worked for their newspaper. I did anything that I could to get some sort of experience. And then we had an internship, which I ended up doing at Sportsnet 590. Which is now, I guess, it was the Fan 590. Now it's Sportsnet 590. And I did radio. I worked for the radio station there as an intern. And I had a real knack for the behind the scenes stuff, editing audio, booking guests and all of that. And one of the producers there, I kind of got his attention and said, hey, listen, I'm really good at this behind the scenes stuff. I know everybody here wants to do on air stuff, but I'd be more than happy dedicating myself to doing behind the scenes things, production, et cetera. And he said that was really refreshing because all of the different interns that come in want to do hosting. They want to be on air. It's kind of weird that I ended up doing on air stuff down the road, but at the time I wanted to do what I was good at. I was getting married in a year or two. And, I wanted to just get my career started. So I started working at The Score, which launched a Sirius XM radio station called Hardcore Sports Radio. The producer from the Fan 590 who I had spoken to got hired full-time there to become a senior producer. And he brought me on board full-time. So I had a full-time job while I was in college, which is in a major market like Toronto is kind of unheard of. So that ended up being a real blessing for me. And I did that job for several years, worked at The Score for 5 years, almost in total, just shy of 5 years. And then somebody who I worked with at The Score hired me at TSN because he saw that I was really good at booking guests and they needed a guest booker for Off the Record with Michael Landsberg. So I came in and was a talent producer for that show. And then from there, I transitioned to booking talent across the board at TSN and doing talent production. And we had gotten the rights to the UFC. And I had been a big UFC fan for many, many years. I had produced the MMA show with Mauro Ranallo when I was at The Score. And really just loved the sport. And I kept encouraging people at TSN to cover, send someone to cover this. We really need to cover this. Conor McGregor's getting really big. Ronda Rousey's getting really big. It was really that kind of renaissance period for the UFC where they were building all these household name stars. And eventually they said, why don't you do it? You know more about the sport than anybody else. And we trust that you're going to do a good job. And that, from there, that's what I've been doing. It's been 4+ years. And I absolutely love it.
Wow, this interview with Aaron Broadstetter is going fantastic. But first, let's take a quick commercial break. And after the break, we'll get to the rest of the interview.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
What do you think about Masvidal versus Nick Diaz, avenging his brother's loss for the BMF title? Do you think that would be a good kind of fight, or kind of just let him?
I don't know about this whole Nick Diaz thing. I mean, the last time the guy won a fight was, I think, 10 years ago. I think this year is going to be the 10-year anniversary of his last win.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I hate the idea of putting him up against somebody as good as Masvidal this early. I think you have to see what this guy has to offer. You put him up against one of the older, like a Matt Brown or somebody that's older, and just see what he has left before we start making these fights with him against top guys. I mean, I know that you're going to want to put him against somebody marketable and you want to, make the most of his comeback, but I just think you're putting him in a major position to fail if you're going to put him in there against a guy as good as Masvidal.
Fair enough.
But hey, I mean, if they offer the fight to Masvidal, I think that's a good opportunity for Masvidal. I think that, that's up to the UFC on what they want to do with Nick Diaz. But if they call Masvidal's people and they say, hey, we want you to fight Nick Diaz, I mean, the answer should be yes. That to me is a fight that would get Jorge Masvidal off the couch.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would think that'd be a really good fight. Going back into more of a fantasy kind of thing, what would be your Mount Rushmore of MMA fighters? If you got to pick 4 guys of all time, and etc., who would you choose to be on your Mount Rushmore?
Okay, if we're just talking just fighters, John Jones, GSP, Khabib, and Anderson Silva, I think would be my 4. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody obvious, but off the top of my head, that would be my Mount Rushmore.
Fair enough. Does Conor McGregor or Ronda Rousey have anything kind of thing do they have any consideration?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what Ronda Rousey did was unbelievable at the time. I think people forget, because of those 2 losses that she ended her career on and how she handled those losses. I think people forget just how good she was and what she was doing to everybody. She was must-watch TV. And I mean, I think Conor really helped put the UFC on the map. I think in terms of what he did for the sport, you certainly would consider putting him on Mount Rushmore. And not to mention the way that he beat Jose Aldo. People forget that at the time, Jose Aldo was considered among the top pound for pound guys in the sport. And he beat him in 13 seconds, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think that if you were going to take anybody that I mentioned off, it would probably be Anderson Silva, maybe Khabib. I don't think Khabib has the greatest resume. I just think that the way that he beat people was so dominant, and that undefeated record is very difficult to retire with. My 2 people I would have to have on there are John Jones and GSP. And then everything else is kind of gravy. I think that you can make a short list of 4 or 5 people after them that you could put on.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because those are pretty.
Even Chuck Liddell you could mention. I think Chuck Liddell, if you're going to talk about Conor, talk about Chuck Liddell as well. Former champion, a guy that really put the UFC on the map as well. That's also
true. Going for the next thing, because I'm thinking about one guy. I always like watching Donald Cerrone fights. He's unfortunately been on kind of a losing streak. Do you still see him being in the UFC, or do you think he'll go to Bellator or one? What do you think's next for the Cowboy?
I think he'll do one more fight in the UFC and they'll go back to the drawing board after that. I think if he loses, he'll be done with the UFC. And the UFC will probably release him. He seems like he's been a really good company guy for all these years, and that's something that the UFC would do. But I think that's what we have to see. Let's see how he looks in his next fight. I think Dana White has come out and said he's going to give Cowboy one more fight at 155 pounds, and we'll see how he looks.
I would like to thank my interview for today, Aaron Broadcenter, for having a great interview. Now it's time for the main event. It is the Rod Pedersen Show. So this is Alan the Intern signing off. Enjoy the show, y'all.
Right now, the Vegas Golden Knights vanquish the Montreal Canadiens. They thrashed them.
How about that?
Carey Price went into God mode again, but it wasn't enough. They're not good enough. I'm sorry. They're playing the number one team in the National Hockey League. That's the Vegas Golden Knights. Montreal's what, 16th? There is room on the Vegas Golden Knights train, and we're not taking you to the train station.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the RP Show. Brand new week coming down. RP here, Moose Dupont over there. It always happens, of course. 60 seconds to showtime, and here's a Sasky term for you. My headphones calve. Does everybody know what that means?
Yes.
So I'm rooting through my bag, and I found another one, but it's now my headphones in my other ear, and I'm just off.
That would throw a guy off.
Yeah, from what it normally is.
Yeah.
So how do you like it so far? And it sounds a little different, too.
Okay.
But welcome to Monday, Moose.
Yeah.
And Canadian sports fans around the world, and all of you in Canada, welcome to your favorite sports program, Canada's daytime sports talk show, coming to you from the bunker here in Western Canada. It's been a fantastic weekend. We'll get into that in a moment. We're opening it up with a big show. Gregg Zaun joining us, 16-year major leaguer. World Series champion. Going to talk a little Blue Jays with Zaun. And our NHL insider going to join us from Lethbridge, Alberta, Rich Sutters, as we dig into the sports. Do you want to get into the Great Western Summer photo album right now, or do you want to wait?
No, that's a good idea.
I think now would be a good time.
I do too.
To sort of just talk about the weekend. This is a brand new feature with one of our first and biggest partners, Great Western Brewing. Every week we're going to do every Monday we're going to talk about our photo album from the weekend. It's just coming up here on my screen. What are we supposed to say about Great Western? Here it is. This was from Glenharmer Sask the other night. Look at that rainbow. It was massive. I took that photo.
That's great.
It's on my Instagram and Twitter. You can roll, Clark. The RP Show Summer Photo Album presented by Great Western Brewing Company. Share with us how you're enjoying this summer and get a chance to be featured on the RP Show by using the hashtag RP Show or GW Beer Summer. Slow him down. Slow him down. That was at my brother. Yeah, that was at Glenharmer. How beautiful is that view?
Oh.
That's something to wake up to every day, right?
Big time.
And then there was yesterday, Father's Day. You see me in the middle. I got the front row seats. My Uncle Gary to my left, my brother Reed to my right, my brother Lee behind me. That's my niece's boyfriend's top of his head. Tate there at the bottom of it. We're watching the Knights and the Habs last night, and we're getting roundly abused for watching an iPad in my brother's indoor riding arena. Worked for us.
That is typical Saskatchewan, like grad party, right?
Oh, yeah.
Every family does their own thing.
Exactly.
You get inside the barn. That's
and
good.
It turned out fine. Now we have more photos, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Let's keep moving. Now you take over, sir.
No, that's my brother and my dad. So, of course, Father's Day. So we put the brisket on, and they all got Great Western beer for Father's Day.
If I had guns like your dad, I would never wear a jacket.
I know, right?
I would walk around in a muscle shirt.
Pulling wrenches for 50 years.
Yeah.
The arms are good. So they got beer. We put the brisket on, and then I think Clark got this photo by the fire.
This is all this weekend. That's Clark's?
I think
okay,
so,
and we got one more here, I think. Jorgen Hughes of the Saskatchewan Roughriders enjoying the beer dropped off at his place with my ugly mug on it, courtesy our good friend Brett Boyko. So that's a pretty good summer.
That's great.
And I guess, are we officially in summer yet?
We are now officially in summer as of today or yesterday, whatever the 21st is today.
So anyways, we're ready to roll with the Quick Six Show topics, and thanks for that. Thanks for Great Western Brewing Company for putting up the photo album. We'll be doing it every Monday. Quick Six, please. Did you hit it, Jordan? Well, where do we start? Vegas Golden Knights beating Montreal 2-1 yesterday in overtime, and the series is now tied 2-2. I'm clearly feeling a lot better. I was dreading going on the air today if they had been down 3-1, because I was literally going to say, I don't want to talk about it. How you discussed the Leafs losing out to Montreal, I don't know. Kudos to you, because I couldn't have talked about it if the Knights were down in this series.
Oh, it's tough, yeah. But thankfully they're not. And we got ourselves a series back, and, it's amazing the way they were able to come back. But that's hockey. I mean, Montreal, we've said this all along. they only need a goal or two, and they're going to win games because Carey Price is so good. They're really good defensively as a group, and they sit back, play this great defense, and then they capitalize on their chances. Paul Byron goes upstairs. Caulfield gets his chances. They take advantage, but that goal from McNabb, that's what you need. Some kind of garbage goal that beats Carey Price and kind of gets your mind right, and they were able to win it early.
Davidson, Saskatchewan's Braden McNabb. And that was a big one to tie the game 1-1. So the series is tied 2-2. But let's move on to point 2, and that is officiating. Whew. Well, what about it? I thought we decided last week that the refs have a tough job, and we're not talking. Very tough job. What's everybody so upset about? I don't understand.
I know. And I still think it's important because we're all over on social media about, look, we got to call the rule book. This is what you want. This is what you get when you manage the game. Well, I still believe it's important for the officials to manage the game, but was it Chris Lee calling the game?
Yeah.
The game was managing him, unfortunately. It got away, and it was really tough to set a standard, right, and what's going to be called and what's not. You got to set that standard pretty early on and stay with it, and it became really physical. The players weren't helping either, right? They weren't toning it down either. They were, pushing that envelope as far as they could, see what they could get away from too. But it's become the focus of this series, and that's the unfortunate part. You still can't let it bother you. You can't get angered about it because you will lose, and that there is never a point in which you can lose your cool about officiating and things like that you can't control. But I understand how frustrating it can be.
Easy to say, tougher to do.
Extremely.
So I guess I could see why Montreal fans were upset. I guess, but I just thought we spent a lot of time on this last week on the Islanders-Tampa series.
Yeah.
And we came to the conclusion that the refs have a tough job. You don't actually believe that the NHL wants Vegas in the Stanley Cup final more than the Canadians, do you? That's not a thing.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that they would. That's the matchup that they would want.
No, they wouldn't. By the way, a couple things. There's another thing that I should read. Great Western Lager is the new great tasting beer to enjoy this summer. Locally made. Get your Great Western Lager at a store near you. This was from Darren's brother, by the way. Look at this thing. Do you want to explain this, please? Better than I could.
Yeah, he's a welder, but he's super skilled, in some of this fabrication work. He's the guy who made the DuPont Media brand.
Yeah.
And knows you're a fan of the Golden Knights, and with the laser cut out this, it's heavy, right? You can say,
yes.
Test how heavy it is, but he cut that out. He's like, do you think Rod would love this for his home or for the studio? Because we know he's a Golden Knights fan. So,
well, you know what? I think it would make a great Christmas ornament. However, it's got to stay up for 365 days. So thank you, Brett DuPont, for this Ironworks Golden Knights logo. Appreciate it. Kent Ridley, watching in Nashville, Tennessee, says Corey Perry's face should be a clear example of a game getting away from the refs. Hey, they missed it. Sometimes, they're not perfect. The refs have a tough job. We moving on? Yeah, let's move on.
Sure.
Point 3, I don't understand this. And a lot happens from Friday to Monday that we don't, over 3 days. Dominic Ducharme, the coach of Montreal, gets COVID. He's got to sit out for 2 weeks now. And then Kelly McCrimmon, the GM of the Golden Knights, has COVID. He's got to sit out for 2 weeks. I don't understand what's going on. I thought we were moving ahead. These guys have the safest protocols, I think, of anywhere on the continent. Why are we not seeing Major League Baseball managers or anybody connected to MLB at all? They're just rolling.
I know.
162 games. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
No COVID outbreaks. And the coach of one team, which incidentally, he's on the bench wearing a mask. He's the only guy, and he gets COVID. But nobody else does.
I know.
And then McCrimmon does. And I'm sorry, Kelly's not in that booth alone. What the hell's going on?
I know. And, well, it's no bubble anymore either, right?
But
so
still,
where are they going where they're not wearing their masks? Or, Vegas, as we've understood, is pretty wide open. Hey, the U.S. is pretty wide open for the most part, not needing to wear a mask anymore. And, I guess it doesn't really matter if you're double vaccinated. You can still, I guess, get it and be a carrier of it. I'm not a health expert. So I think maybe that's what they're worried about more than anything, not worried about Ducharme getting sick or McCrimmon getting sick because they've been vaccinated. They'll fight it, but them bringing it back into the team and spreading it around. But It is weird. You thought we were done with this. I thought we were done.
I find it highly weird. Don't look at us for answers today, everybody, because we don't have any. This, by the way, is the warm-up as we do to open every show, brought to you by eCall Electric, your complete electrical distributor with locations in Regina, Estevan, Swift Current, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. eCall Electric. Let's get to work, and we will right after coffee. Drew Koser's watching from the Off the Hosel podcast. He says, loved it. Prison rules. Which announcer called it Hudson Bay rules? I think it was Gary Galley.
That's amazing, yes.
The rules are there are no rules. In Hudson Bay, in the gas station, they sell hats that say Hudson Bay rules. But with a skull and crossbones on it, by the way. I bought one in Hudson Bay.
I can see the press conference, right, Chris? Or Corey Perry talking about the officiating. And Chris, but did you die?
Yeah, but did you die? From Mike Horrigan in Toronto. Good afternoon from the 905 RP show and viewers. Fear the deer, go Bucks. We got a lot of things to get to today, and I'm going to not ramble through, but point 4, John Rahm wins the U.S. Open. Mackenzie Hughes, can we say that he blew up? He had first Canadian to share the lead going into Sunday since Mike Weir in 1999 of a major. I didn't watch any of it. You saw where I was on the farm.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch it. So did he blow up?
Yeah, I woke up watching it, and then unfortunately I watched a little bit of the end of it too as well. It wasn't a good day. I mean, he had played 3 really great days, and anybody would be nervous in that situation. Ton of great golfers haven't been able to get it done, on Sunday. Really hard, but really proud of what he did to get to that point. And he was in the mix with some really big names and kind of held it together for 9 holes before it went away. But John Rahm, I mean,
great story.
One day, he's being pulled off the course with a big lead for COVID, and now here he is winning the major.
From the viewers, Jason Wall watching on Facebook says, hello from Winnipeg Beach. Hello, Jason Wall. He's a big-time Bomber fan. Interestingly enough, we don't have any CFL topics in our Quick Six show topics. I hope that changes, but there's a lot of other stuff going on. Toski Wangus is watching on YouTube. He says, hey, Rod, do the Islanders have a chance against the Lightning, and do you think they can beat Vegas or the Habs for the Cup? Whoa there, cowboy. It's 2-2. Game 5's tonight in Tampa. Of course they get a chance. I've picked them to win the series, probably in 7. But let's not talk about the Stanley Cup where the Vegas Golden Knights will be waiting for them, okay? It's one game at a time. Do the Islanders have a chance? It's a best of 3, and they got a great chance.
Well, biggest difference, I mean, you look at how good Barry Trotz is, right? And how he just knows what strings to pull and when. And analytics can't tell you when to pull some of these strings, even if they can be a great tool. But him calling that timeout when they let 2 goals in, in the first half of that period, they let in 2 goals, it's 3-2. He calls that timeout. The game completely changed. The Islanders started playing a lot better. And yes, they needed Ryan Pulock to make that incredible save at the end, which was outstanding. But Barry Trotz calling that timeout changed the entire game.
Jeff, the Stamps fan, says the NBA Final 4. Milwaukee Bucks, Atlanta Hawks, LA Clippers, Phoenix Suns. What do you say? That isn't the NBA I know. That's the thing. That's not even retro. This has never happened. These teams have been garbage forever. I see the Suns GM got GM of the year in the NBA, which is great. I mean, it's going to be a fun Final 4. But a little heat on Steve Nash now for not getting that super team to the NBA Finals. But hang on, speaking of Steve Nash, but point 5, the Blue Jays won the series in Baltimore. It's their first series win since, I think, June 7th. And I'm getting chastised a little bit on Twitter from guys that are saying, oh, it's okay, Rod, they're just young. Oh, okay, they're going to make mistakes. That's why it's great to have Zani in, because he's connected. He'll be joining us right after the break. But it's like, how patient can you be with these young Toronto Blue Jays? Because they won the series against Baltimore, but it's the only team worse than the Blue Jays record-wise in the division. There's not a whole lot to celebrate there, but they're still exciting. Vladdy's still going to have the most votes for the All-Star game, and they're going to be good. Can we not allow them a little bit of leniency here? Charlie Montoyo does not seem to be that concerned. I don't think anything concerns Charlie Montoyo from what I can see.
No, that guy could be in a bomb scare and he'd still be, finishing up his
task. He's the kind of guy you want.
he's the kind of guy you want, for sure. And you know what? To the media and to us watching, it might seem like he's oblivious to the problems that are going on because he comes out, he's like, everything's good. We're really happy. We're really proud of our guys. We're really working hard. It's like, do you not see what's going on right in front of your face? Well, of course he does. And that goes a long way in the clubhouse. And then you see Mark Shapiro, I think it was over the weekend, saying that they're really working on arms. So,
well, I would hope. But we got to speed it up here. Hey, it's Sitoski on YouTube. I'll answer one of your questions, but that's all. It's not just you and me. I answered your question about the Islanders, but I'm not getting into the Giants and Daniel Jones now. Sorry, we got to speed up because point 6. Where's my bell? Breaking news this morning from the National Lacrosse League. I think they let it slip a couple weeks ago that Las Vegas was getting the 15th NLL franchise. They had to have let that slip because today was the major announcement from the National Lacrosse League, and I'm not sure I can call it up in time before we break. But that 15th franchise going into the National Lacrosse League in Sin City, here it is. The NLL today announced the city of Las Vegas has been awarded an expansion franchise to become the NLL's 15th team. The new franchise will be co-owned by Wayne Gretzky, Dustin Johnson, Steve Nash, and Joe Tsai. Mark Fine has been named the Las Vegas team's CEO. The team will play at MGM Resorts International's Michelob Ultra Arena, located inside the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, beginning in the 2022-23 season. You just love the sound of that, don't you?
When you
How
say
about that?
The Mandalay Bay. I just hear Bruce Buffer, right?
Of course. The Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. He doesn't screw that up, but that's why he's Bruce Buffer. Or Michael Buffer. So, Wayner, DJ, Steve Nash, all into the lacrosse game. Don't take your eye off the ball because the NLL's got it going on. So we'll talk about that later because we're up for a break here. The rock star of the day, by the way, on Friday was Michael Pinball Clemens. Rock star of the day. He won it by acclamation. So we'll be sending him a hat and a T-shirt, or wait until September 27th or September 17th when the Argos come through here to take on the Riders. We'll be back with Gregg Zaun after this. You are watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network across all 10 provinces in 31 states, live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds, full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade and Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-In Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Monday coming down. Good afternoon to those of you in the East. Good morning to the rest of you like us out here in the West. I want to tell you the Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. You can hit us right here. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. I'm hoping to hear from more than just upset Montreal fans regarding the officiating in this series against my Vegas Golden Knights, because I thought we realized that it's that referees have a tough job. What's all the complaining about? It's time to talk baseball. Can we get Gregg Zaun on my screen? 16-year major leaguer, World Series champion, joins us from Cleveland. How you doing, Zauni?
I'm doing well. Good to talk to you again, bud.
Yeah, always nice to see you, my friend. Hey, what takes you to Cleveland, the mistake by the lake?
Oh, I'm moving here in August. Took a couple of jobs. Some real dear friends of mine were kind of needing some help with their respective businesses. And so I've just been down here. I sell infectious disease testing now as one of my jobs. And then the other one is I'm going to be a money manager. So I've passed my insurance exam, and now I'm studying for the securities part of it and enjoying it. Cleveland's actually, it's been a lovely, lovely town. I've been back and forth between here and Toronto the last couple of months, working, servicing accounts. But, loving it. It's I have a nice network of friends down here and making new friends and trying to move on to the next phase of my life.
Well, good for you. Well, obviously, I know you're one of those guys who's going to be a success no matter what you do. You're just one of those guys. You saw me talking about earlier the Blue Jays. Are you seeing how much people are losing their minds of late? You've seen the slide that they've been on. I've been preaching patience. Where are you on this young team?
Well, to me, you're going to have these ups and downs, these really, really inconsistent swings. To me, my big thing is that they're just not focused on fundamental play. Vladdy, he's killing the ball, which I'm really, really thrilled to see. Finally, all that pressure that the kid had on him coming up, and a lot of it just over the top. But to see him swing the bat the way he's been swinging the bat is great. I love Bo Bichette. I'm a huge fan. But the way they lose ball games with their inconsistency, whether it be defense, base running, or just an inability to throw the ball over the plate. These are the fundamental things that have to be a focus in the organization from top to bottom. And, you guys were talking about how calm Charlie is. Obviously, that's his style. It would not be my style, I can tell you that, because, I understand that kids are going to make mistakes. But when they make the same mistakes over and over and over again, and there's just such a lack of fundamental play, that would drive me absolutely bonkers as a manager. I think there's a little too much complacency. I think that there's a little too much, we'll get them tomorrow kind of an attitude. No. If you're getting consistently beat by better teams and more talented players, you can understand that. But when you're beating yourself, and you're beating yourself in situations where it just takes some fundamental baseball being played, that's unacceptable at the big league level, in my opinion. These are lessons that these kids should have learned in the minors. You can accept getting beat by better teams and players, but when you beat yourself, that can't happen every night the way you're seeing the Blue Jays lose ball games.
What are you thinking about George Springer, by the way? Because it seems like every game the announcers are saying he's close, he's close, he's close. You give a guy $150 million, like, what the heck, man? And how much of a difference do you think he'll make when he does show up, if he shows up?
Yeah, he's a serious presence on both sides of the ball, no doubt about it. But a lot of guys, when they get paid, they get complacent. There's really no sense of urgency to get back on the field. It's sad. You see it happen quite a bit. They're like, I got all this money. I need to get myself right. There's just no sense of urgency whatsoever to get back out on the field. And obviously you don't want him to come back too soon and miss all of his, time. But dang, man, at least kind of give us an inclination that you care about being out there. The organization is worried about him being on the field. 150 million is 150 million. He should be out there. You got to get himself ready to play.
Good. So you're with me on that. So here's one. Major League Baseball begins its crackdown against pitchers using sticky substances today. So it's 10 games if you're caught using sticky tack or whatever. So what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
I think it's ridiculous. I've never cared one iota about a pitcher using something to give himself a better grip, because it's just straight up hypocrisy. You look at the rule book and it says no foreign substances, yet they provide a rosin bag. I don't know if you've ever put rosin on your hands, but if you mix it with sunscreen, and what are they going to tell pitchers, that they can't wear sunscreen in the summertime? A little sweat, some sunscreen, and some rosin, and you're talking about super glue. So how hypocritical is it for them to say, oh, we're going to suspend you for 10 games when you're providing sticky substance already? And then on top of that, these kids throw 95 to 100 miles an hour. I don't give a flying hoot whether or not they're using a little something to give them a better grip on these balls that they're rolling out there. I had a dozen baseballs from when I played that were in my closet when I was packing up my house in Oakville, and I compared the ball to the one they're using now. The balls are slick, they are hard, the seams are lower. Of course, they need something to give them a little bit of help with some grip. The balls are ridiculous. That when they said that they kind of unwound them a little bit to make them more legit, I call malarkey on that too. They're still hard as a rock. They're hard to get a hold of. You got guys like Jose Altuve still hitting 370-foot opposite field home runs. You tell me the balls aren't juiced? I don't blame these pitchers for being upset. You know what? And if I'm a hitter, I don't want 95 off my neck. I'd rather you get a little bit better grip, keep that ball down, over the plate. I'll take my chances with that versus, having to wear 95 in the head.
So explain to a hockey football guy like me, what was the impetus to do this? Because I'm seeing all these no-hitters this year. So I'm thinking they're saying the pitching's too good. We got to do something here. Is that where this has come from after all these years, that you're now going to get a 10-game suspension if you're caught using something?
Oh, it's just society. It's what everybody wants to throw everybody under the bus.
Right.
They've known this has been going on for forever. So, you have the cheating scandal, the sign stealing or whatever with the Astros. I never cared about that either. You get better signs, be a big leaguer. They've known about this forever. These guys have been doing it. They were doing it when I was playing. They've been doing it. It's just part of it. We had pitchers that used to hide pine tar rags in their pitching jackets, and I didn't care. Heck, I helped scuff balls for some of my guys just to help them gain an edge. And now it's like, we got to make sure the game's all cleaned up and fair. There ain't nothing fair about it. There's no such thing as a level playing field in major leagues. You're either bigger, faster, stronger, throw harder, you can spin it better. To me, it's about safety, and they're going to create a very unsafe situation. If they don't change the balls back to where they used to be 10, 15 years ago, there's going to be some guys with some nasty head injuries. And you be honest about the no-hitters. All these no-hitters in the game are a byproduct of the fact that nobody cares about swinging and missing. You have very few outcomes in the game of baseball because there's no onus placed on two-strike hitting. Don't worry about it. Don't cut your swing down. Just try to go deep. It's home run derby. That's why you see all these no-nos in a short amount of time, because the players aren't worried about breaking it up. They don't care. They're not even worried about putting the ball in play with 2 strikes, which is embarrassing. That's why people are sitting in the stands absolutely bored out of their minds. I went to a ball game in Cleveland the other day. I went to watch the Cleveland Indians play the Orioles, and that's one of the worst teams I've seen in 10 years. They kicked it around all over the place in a game against Cleveland, and it's just an embarrassment. They don't put the ball in play. They can't catch a routine ground ball, throw it across the diamond. The game has degenerated into basically a home run derby when you're a hitter, and how hard can you throw it if you're a pitcher. That's all they care about.
From a viewer, Jeff in Winnipeg says, Zani, how can we not be in awe of Shohei Ohtani, MVP-worthy candidate, hands down? Is it between Ohtani and Vladdy, do you think, for MVP?
As of right now, yeah. I mean, but you got to look at Ohtani, man. That guy, he plays high level baseball on both sides of the ball. Junior's a little bit of a one-dimensional guy for me. He's a good hitter, and he's showing up this year. But as a defender, I mean, he's not on the field for me in the 9th inning if I got a 1-run lead. I'm pulling him out of the game. So I don't see how if Ohtani continues to do what he's doing, I don't see how you can put those guys in the same breath.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. Both exciting. But you're going to take Ohtani.
Oh, yeah.
From Ryan in New York. Question for Gregg. You just talked about bad fundamentals by the Jays. Do you think it's because of their age, or is it because of the current era the importance of fundamentals aren't taught?
Yeah, I think you're right about that. The latter, Ryan. It's they're not teaching the fundamentals. They don't take enough time to really allow players to learn from their mistakes. I don't think there's enough quality instructors out there. I mean, you look at the guys that they're hiring in the minor leagues now, guys who never played professionally, some guy that has, like some YouTube channel or whatever on how to hit or field ground balls or whatever. And these are the guys that they're hiring to teach these guys how to play baseball. And honestly, with the fundamentals being kind of like a forgotten thing, you don't see people worried about cutting down their swing and putting balls in play with 2 strikes. You don't see the unbelievably strong-armed outfielders anymore that can throw guys out trying to go first to third. These are just lost arts. It's how far can you hit it and how hard can you throw it. That's all they care about. It's all that's being taught. They talk about launch angle. They're talking about spin rates and all this kind of stuff. I don't care how far you can hit it. If you can't put it in play and make fundamental contact on a regular basis, I don't care how far you can hit it. And if you can't throw it where you want to, who cares how many times it spins between release and catch? I don't care. Even the catching is absolutely atrocious. This one knee sweeping the zone with the glove. You see games ending because the catchers are on their knees with a runner at third base and 2 outs, and they olay a ball and it goes to the backstop and the game ends like that without even trying to get a chest on it. It's they're teaching the game all wrong. It's honestly, you hear the fans talk about it and how boring and ugly the game is. It's not the game I grew up with. I would love to say, change is good, but the changes that they've made to the game in the last 5 years, not good. And it's not an entertaining product.
I thought it was just hockey. All right, Zani, I appreciate the visit. Always good seeing your mug, my friend. Don't be a stranger, and all the best to you, man. Enjoy the ball.
Always here for you. In between selling COVID tests, I'll always be here for you. You let me know.
Awesome. Thank you, Zauni. The great Gregg Zaun checking in from Cleveland, Ohio. Again, 16-year major leaguer, Blue Jays alum, and World Series champion. We're going to take a timeout and come back with a sports update. Moose will be back here. We'll start with the viewer takeover with all the things that we want to discuss today. And, of course, the big one, we haven't got to the poll question yet. Well, I'll discuss that when we come back because it's probably, well, you got it up on the screen, so let's talk about it right now. Who should start in goal for Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, in Game 5? Marc-Andre Fleury or Robin Lehner? I'll give you my vote when we come back. It is a hotly debated question in NHL circles today. We're cracking the lid on a brand new week. It's episode number 510 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. We'll be right back on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. What a day for my earphones to quit working. Brand new ones here today. I'm a little out of sorts. I'm going to get... Moose isn't here, but I'm going to get into viewer takeover in a second. I can handle it. But a sports update. The Golden Knights are back on level terms in the Stanley Cup semifinal. Nick Waugh scored his fourth goal of the playoffs at 1:18 of overtime as Vegas defeated the Montreal Canadiens 2-1. Robin Lehner started in place of Marc-Andre Fleury and stopped 27 shots for Vegas. The best of 7 third-round series tied 2-2, Game 5 going Tuesday. And again, that's the poll question for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Who should the Golden Knights start in goal in Game 5? I'm voting for the Flower. I think you got to go with the Flower. And watching SportsCenter this morning working out, Craig Button agreed. And he actually, Butt said it's a no-brainer. You got to go with Marc-Andre Fleury. Well, based on the results of this poll, 56% on Facebook, or is it 59% say Lehner? I don't think so, but I got room for the debate. I think on Twitter, it's like 56% saying Flower. So you're seeing that this is a very difficult decision for Peter DeBoer and like a 50-50 call. Anyways, the Atlanta Hawks are headed to the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. They beat the top-seeded Philadelphia 76ers 103-96 in Game 7. Kevin Huerter led the Hawks with 27 points, and Trae Young added 21. John Rahm became the first Spaniard to win the U.S. Open. The 26-year-old shot a 4-under-67 in the fourth round for the one-stroke victory. With the win, Rahm returned to number 1 in the world. Canadian Mackenzie Hughes led going into the final day, but a 77 saw the Dundas, Ontario golfer finished tied for 15th. Reese McGuire had 4 hits in Toronto's 7-4 victory over Baltimore that lifted the Blue Jays back to the 500 mark. Bo Bichette drove in a pair of runs for the Jays, who are off today. New York closed out a 2-1 win over Oakland with a triple play. The Yankees have turned 3 of them so far this year. And, of course, you remember the one against Toronto last week. Albert Pujols hit a 3-run homer, and the L.A. Dodgers won 9-8 over Arizona in Major League Baseball. The D-backs extended their losing streak to 17 games. But nobody cares because the Suns are going to the conference final there. Daz Cameron hit a 2-run single in the 10th inning, and the Detroit Tigers avoided a 4-game series sweep with a 5-3 victory over the LA Angels. Two-way star Shohei Ohtani hit his 6th homer in 6 games for LA. He's now tied with Vladdy for the Major League lead with 23. This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. I'm sorry that you're seeing me tugging and pulling at my earphone, but just this morning after 509 shows, my normal headphones calved. So I got white ones here. I don't like wearing white ones. I had to switch it to my other ear, and it's driving me nuts, but I'll get used to it. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, well, it should be like wah, wah, wah. You get used to something after 509 shows. That's 1,018 hours of having it in this ear. Anyways, there is news from the CFL today. Where is it? One of the viewers wrote in with it. Chad Jeter, defensive end of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, has retired to join the United States Air Force. And it's unbelievable. Adam Schultz writing in with that earlier. And Mandy in Edmonton, huge CFL fan, says, she says, say what? What timing? It was the weekend, right? So I was out of this bubble here and I was out into another bubble, and that was a lot of phone calls, some coffee sessions, talking with CFL folks. And there's just so much going on that you just don't see. And it's the same with every league. It's not just the CFL. But did we not hear or see somebody a few weeks ago say you're going to see more and more retirements even now that training camps have been announced in the season? And here's a great example with Chad Jeter. It's brutal. This guy's very vocal on Twitter. Great player. Played at Gardner-Webb. But I guess you apply to get into the United States Air Force, and they say, you're accepted, son. You go. You can't wait to finish your professional football career. So you can blame COVID. 16 months of this ending just another career, that of Chad Jeter. And did we hear any more, by the way, on Justin Medlock saying that he's not coming back to Winnipeg? That he's done? That's the latest as of late last week that Medlock's done. Like I said earlier, this is a rare day that we don't have the CFL at all in our Quick Six show topics. But what was there really to say? I mean, Chad Jeter would be one. But what's the story on Medlock? I didn't see a tweet or a news release coming from the Blue Bombers that said Justin Medlock retires after Hall of Fame career or whatever. I mean, he did win a Grey Cup. It might be a Hall of Fame career, but they're just, with training camps right around the corner and the season to kick off August 5th, isn't it just a little quiet? A little more quiet than you'd like to see? Or is it just me? And I'm not, kicking any manure up here. I'm just legitimately saying that it's pretty quiet. Jeff the Stamps Peters fan says bad news for the Riders. Jeter was a rare, promising young player on that Rider defense. I see what you did there, Jeff. That's not a player that the Riders would want to lose. He's a very good football player. You're starting to see the end of the Chris Jones era in terms of personnel. There's going to be a turnover. And Jeter was one of those guys. Robert and Prince Albert. It sucks that he's retiring, but that just gives another player a chance to shine. Is that not just the mindset of a fan, eh? Career ends. Oh, well. Sucks to be you. COVID-19. Sucks to be you. Jordan Eward on YouTube. It's quiet, Roddy. No cool CFL news. That's the thing. I don't even know what to say. It's quiet that training camps are like literally a couple weeks away, and there's not any real good news. Jason watching at Winnipeg Beach. Jason Wall says, Medlock contemplated retirement in 2017. Bombers convinced him to come back for 2 more years. He's got a young family. COVID happened, and he's moved on. Thank you, Jason. Well, we should get Medlock on. Because can we do that, Clark? From what I understand, he's just a super dude. He's really tight with Munzie. He's super tight with Munzie. Big-time golfer. Let's get Medlock on. And thank God he came back and played those 2 more years. He won a Grey Cup. He got a ship. But it's, one CFL guy that I had coffee with this weekend said all the CFL's problems just got swept under the carpet because we're playing. So that's my take on that break. We'll come back with a full-on viewer takeover with Moose when we come back. So get your questions ready. The Prairie Mobile text line is open. I should read one more here before we run from Ray in the 6. Kitchener area. Hi, Rod. Nice to see Zaun again. He's old school, and I love listening to what he has to say. I wonder why he never got back into the game. He's into teaching and fundamentals. He would be a great asset to any MLB team. Listen, Ray, it's a great point. Zaun, big shock that he and I clicked back in the day, and we've remained close friends. But did you see what Charles Barkley said last week? When his contract's up with the NBA on TNT, he's done. He said, it's not fun anymore. A lot of our bosses are cowards. It's not fun for Zaun anymore, for a guy like that. And thank God for this place and the people at Game Plus that allow me to be me. But Zauni's like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And Charles Barkley said the same. We'll be right back with that viewer takeover. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Get your early bird tickets by June 24th for a chance to win a truck, trailer, toys, and cash. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. I never did tweet the poll earlier. Tweet the link to listen and watch. But you're here anyways, so you got the message. Moose is not. That's it. A stuffed Moose. Like, he's been on the phone all morning. He's doing business. We're in the business of doing business, and business is great. But I can't with these headphones. Here's the thing. I did a sports talk radio show before this for 10 years. And I used to be petrified scared of going on alone. And I wouldn't. Doesn't bother me anymore. I don't know. You're still here? You didn't turn it off. So I'll handle this myself to the top of the hour. Rich Sutter coming in hour 2. Darren Workman watching. He's in Salt Lake City. He says, hey, Rod, caught your spot on the Markcast on Friday. Enjoyed you sharing your takes. We are anticipating a great CFL season. Your buddy Charleston better tear it up after his comments last week. Oh, yeah, Chucky got the whole CFL talking. He always does, Charleston Hughes. But I went on that XFL podcast. I think it dropped on Thursday. And I don't know why they keep coming back and asking, but I enjoy going on that show. And they watch this show all the time. We're going to get a CFL season. At least we're going to get a start to the CFL season, but it's just fraught with perils and pitfalls. Because look what's happened to the Montreal Canadiens with Dominic Ducharme. And now Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, Kelly McCrimmon. How are these COVID positive tests slipping through the cracks with the highly guarded nature of what the NHL is doing in all those major leagues? And the CFL, it just seems like an outbreak waiting to happen. And the number I got, by the way, of CFL vaccinated players coming into the country is like 30%. All of them, Canadians and Americans, 30%. We're going to bring in global players from all over the world. It just seems very tenuous to me. Anyways, Jack, watching in Alberta, says, Rod, it's what the CFL doesn't do, marketing the product. They're back playing, and I don't want to I want to be that guy. We'll just talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs, okay? It's in my wheelhouse. My team's playing, and the poll question today. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Sean McCormick watching in downtown Toronto. The top programming, Big Cheese, there at Game Plus says, we're still here with you, Rod. The more I think about it, I think Fleury will get the nod, but I don't think they can go wrong either way. See, here's Sean. He sees that I'm alone here, so he steps up. Gives me a topic. Where were you, Clark, on that one? It's very quiet back there. Sleeping, he says. I'm teasing you, Clark. Don't sound so mad. Who should the Golden Knights start in Game 5? So Sean says the Flower. I say the Flower. On Twitter, 54% of you saying the Flower, Marc-Andre Fleury. But I'll tell you what, after Friday night in his gaff, I was going to bed. The Knights were up 2-1 with a minute to go. I had picked them to win 3-1. Carey Price was heading to the bench. I'm like, here comes the empty net goal. Bob's your uncle. I picked the score. We're going to be up in this series 2-1. And then I couldn't even look at Marc-Andre Fleury after that game. So I was okay with Leonard starting Game 4. But I think you got to go back with the Flower. But it's like a 50-50 choice. And I don't think they'll announce it until Tuesday. And probably the morning skate when you see Marc-Andre Fleury be first off the ice. But thank you, Sean, for that. I'm with you. I'm with you, Sean. Great minds think alike, as they say. Chris Bird in Toronto says, hashtag Delta variant. Oh, yeah. I think that's why you don't hear a lot about the CFL right now. People are still very nervous. We will be back with Hour 2. Maybe Moose will be here. Maybe you won't. I don't know. But you and I will. And Rich Sutter as well right after this break on Game Plus.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Stars, you are dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept admission.
This is why I'm all in.
Just accept it. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Right now,
the Vegas Golden Knights vanquish the Montreal Canadiens. They thrashed them.
How about that?
Carey Price went into God mode again, but it wasn't enough. They're not good enough. I'm sorry. They're playing the #1 team in the National Hockey League. That's the Vegas Golden Knights. Montreal's what, 16th? There is room on the Vegas Golden Knights train, and we're not taking you to the train station.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. Hey, look who decided to join us, everybody. Moose DuPont's out of his cage.
Howdy.
How are you?
I'm great.
I looked down at your phone to see who you were talking to,
And?
It was your